Hello and welcome to the PC Expert Amateur. And we're going to look at a brand that people don't tend to know very much about. And there might be a good reason for that, but we'll see. So I ordered this on Amazon and it was sold as new. But when I received it, the package was damaged like this. So clearly, it had been already opened. And I don't know if anything is missing from it. So I contacted them and they said, hey, you know what? Here's what we'll do for you. We're going to send you another one and you don't have to return that one. And we're really sorry about that they sold you a open box as new. So they sent me another one. There are some companies out there that really try to make you happy. I've had Sama seems to care about your opinions, and they ask for feedback and stuff, and Korn and some of the other companies. And some companies like Segatep, they just have a bad attitude. And so I got the replacement. Here it is. And it was even worse. So I got, for $13, I got two fans. Are they worth $13 a piece? Well, we'll find that out shortly. So this is the Alzai Halo 4.0 S-RGB LED case fan, 120 by 25. What is sRGB? Well, I'm a little bit confused about that because this fan only has one cable, and that one cable is PWM, so the LEDs are controlled by that. However, on the website, it says that this fan supports ASRock Polychrome Sync, MSI Mystic Light Sync, Gigabyte RGB something or other. I can't read it because they made a difficult to read logo, and Asus Aura Sync. So I'm guessing that theoretically at least, I don't have any of those installed, but theoretically at least you have the power to take control. But I don't know. Anyways, to get back to the fan itself. So the fan, it has a little bit of information on the back and a little bit of information on the side. And this is the fan. And one thing you probably notice is it's got the lighting ring on both sides of the fan. And since this is an opaque black for the propeller, probably no LEDs hiding inside of that hub. But let's find out, shall we? Huh. Uh-oh, there it is. Oh, if you get too low on the voltage, it doesn't light up all of them. Now that is not surprising, although I had to go up higher than I would have expected if this is something that it can actually be controlled by software. It should be like 5 volt, right? Tell me if I'm wrong. So let me try something here. Okay, so I've got OpenRGB on right now, and as I suspected, nothing is changing. Let me just scroll through the different modes. Chase fade, rainbow, spectrum, cycle, flashing, breathing, static, off, direct. Nothing is doing anything. So that's kind of unsurprising, really, for them to claim that this supports those 4 ARGB functions on a PWM fan is really pretty misleading. Now I'm just kind of curious. Nope, this one is also exactly the same. These are not ARGB fans at all. So I have no idea. If somebody with more knowledge on this can clue me in. How can you control fan lights that don't have a separate cable, except for like a switch that's interposed into the circuitry or something like that. How can software go through the PWM circuit and control the lighting? I don't think that's possible because the four wires of PWM are made for power and the TAC signal and the PWM control signal. So, yeah, doesn't make any sense. So it looks to me like it's a bunch of hooey. It's a bunch of hooey. If you don't know what hooey means, don't bother. It's not important. It just means it's garbage. It's nonsense. It's rubbish. Sorry, I'm over it. I'm moving on. Yep, moving on now. All right, so let's go ahead and now that we've determined that they lied on their website, probably we'll go ahead and check out the noise profile on this. Ooh, false start. Kind of noisy. At least it starts at a low voltage. Okay, that's really kind of loud. Not terribly, but you know, you'll notice it. And I can really kind of feel that this is got pretty good static pressure actually. I can feel and it does tend to spread out pretty rapidly in a cone shape. But yeah, I think that it's not as strong as the Noctua NF-A12 by 25, but it's not bad either. It would sure be nice if they would have provided that information on the website, though, so that I don't have to reach out to them and say, hey, what's the deal? Or more specifically, what's the pressure? All right, so we'll compare this now. And this has got kind of a weird noise profile to it. And a guy I work with who says he's an audio-visual engineer has suggested I try the spectral analyzer within the program called Audacity. So I'm going to check into doing that. If I don't forget. All right, let's go. As in literally, let's get started. Not let's go, I'm excited. Which is something I never heard of until recently. It's new slang. Can you hear the Noctua? That high-pitched noise is coming in. Produces a bit of discord when they're both on high. Yeah, so I think that they're fairly similar in terms of their volume. But whereas Noctua claims that the maximum volume on their product is 22.6, the Alzai at least says 35.2, and I think that's a bit higher than it really is. But it does have a pretty broad spectrum noise profile. Yeah, there are like several tones going on there, or pitches, that give it a really broad spectrum of sound. I'm not sure if that's something that you want to tolerate or not. It doesn't bother me at all, but I know that there are lots of people out there for whom even the smallest noises are a horrible, horrible distraction. And yeah, so that's why I take into account the fan noise, because, well, it doesn't bother me. I don't do this for me. I do this for you, my viewers, my subscribers. Speaking of which, in order for me to continue to do this, I mean, I've already sunk way too much money into this, several $1,000s. And I don't have several $1,000s actually because I don't have money saved up for my old age, and I'm already 57. So I really, really, really need to get help to earn money off this channel. And so please, if you don't mind, like, subscribe, and share the videos you think will be useful for other people. And I realize this is not a testing video. This whole thing, the whole thing about the PT1 or Part 1 videos is just this. And later, when I can, I will produce the Part 2 videos with the test results. And if I have to, I'll break it down into different videos, for different kinds of tests. Because there are a lot of tests I want to do. And that takes a lot of time just to do one fan. But, we'll work with it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the data that we have available to us. All right, so the LSI Halo 4.0 sRGB LED case fan, or the ASH 42007277 from the Halo series. And the frame is black with translucent white for the lights and solid black blades, $13, which I think is too much. And I don't know why I marked that one in red. Doesn't need to be in red. There we go. But yeah, it has certifications from CE, FCC, ROHS, and the Russian CPT or PCT. I'm not really sure which one they want currently. I'm not going to look it up. But if somebody happens to know, let me know. China, 120 by 25, 40,000 hours versus the Noctua's 150,000. It's got chromatic LEDs. In other words, it's got some kind of programming inside of it that has it continuously cycling through the color spectrum it has available. And it claims that it supports ASRock, MSI, Gigabyte, and Asus, but I can't even imagine how it's going to do that over a PWM wire. 155 grams versus the Noctua's 200. And oh, by the way, I couldn't find any warranty information on this, but Noctua offers 6 years. 9 blades, just like Noctua. Standard mounting hole distance, 800 to 2,000 RPMs versus Noctua's 450 to 2,000. And we have an airflow minimum of 21.5, maximum of 42.5 versus Noctua's maximum of 102.1. So, not impressive. And it claims that the static pressure is only 0.79. And I really do feel that it's higher than that. But just wish that everybody would use the same exact testing methodologies and standards, because then we would have a fairly accurate understanding of the specifications of every fan, because they would all be based on the same methodology, the same equipment and stuff. Okay, the noise ranges from 13.5 to 35.2, which I think is a bit higher, a bit lower than, a bit higher than it actually is. The fan's cable length is 44.5. You can't daisy chain it. There's no sleeve. It's PWM and it's a hydraulic bearing. 12 volts, 1.26 to 2.58 watts, and 0.105 to 0.215 amps versus the Noctua, which starts at 5 volts, and I'm going to guess this one starts rather higher than 5 volts. Rated for 1.2 watts and maximum of 1.68 and 0.1 amps and maximum of 0.14. So this is using more electricity because of the lights. So, And I don't know if there's any separate information for the LEDs because that information was not provided. There's no indicators for rotation and flow. It's a clockwise rotating fan. You get 4 screws and you get corner cushions, and that is all. And hopefully, unlike me, you're going to get it in a box that hasn't been damaged. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.